Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. I got it home. I haven't looked at it yet. I just got it into the garage and onto the dolly so I could move it about. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what I actually bought. I made a video a while back about how I found this car and a quick look in the tent that I found this car. Today I have used the entire day to get it out and get it back to my garage. The place was really hard to get at, so I couldn't really drive a trailer there. I didn't dare, at least. So we ended up using a Massey Ferguson to pull it out of the resting place and onto a parking lot a bit down the road so I could get it onto the trailer. And now it's back home. This is another big project for me. But what I think I'm going to do with it is to make a, you could call it a restoration. I'm not gonna fix this up completely. At least that's the feeling that I have right now. I'm gonna make it run, make it safe, make it MOT ready, and then just enjoy it. And looking at it through the day today, I'm really falling in love with the look, the rusty arches, and yeah, I really like it actually. This is a really rare car. And I was not looking for it. I just suddenly saw it and remembered my childhood with one of these. Not the exact same model, but with a Princess. My parents owned one around '93, I think it was. And I have a lot of childhood memories sitting in the back with my big sister fighting over the armrests. My mother found this picture and gave to me. There is the Princess, the red Princess. I'm not really sure, but according to the guy I bought the green one from, you can actually see on the trim which model it is. And because it's black here and red on the roof, it should be a 4-cylinder one. And I think it was the 2.0. I can remember it was a manual, but nothing more than that. And here it is again. This is me being in something that looks like the 70s, but it is actually the beginning of the 90s. This is although not a 4-cylinder one. This is the 6-cylinder 2.2 engine with a dual carb setup. And I think it's pretty much the top of the line of the Princesses. I think they might have made a Van den Platz edition, but this must have been one of the more expensive one. It is coupled together with a 3-speed, I think, Borg-Warner automatic gearbox. I think they are known to be slightly unreliable. This one has been changed and should be good, actually. This car was, even though it looks like something that has been in a barn for many years, this was actually unregistered in 2019. It hasn't really driven since the mid-2000s. But it's not that long ago, and I can see that it was MOT'd in 2011. This is old enough to be a classic car in Denmark. Therefore, there is 8 years between the MOTs, so that corresponds pretty much to 2019. So yeah, but let's take a look at it. I can't wait. I have, of course, been looking a little bit at it while getting it today, but I haven't been inside the car at all. The guy I bought it from was the one being in the driver's seat steering it while I drove the Massey Ferguson. So I can't wait to look. Let's get started and look at this car. This video will only be a look at stuff. And then the next video on this will be a hopefully startup video of the engine. Let's start with a inspection of the exterior of this car. I took a little look at it last time in the tent, but I haven't really looked at it. It is covered in dust and cat paws everywhere. It was raining slightly today, so it was washed a little bit. But yeah, it could use a wash for sure. The car seems pretty straight, but there has been a lot of repairs through the years. These are known to rust, just like everything from that area, really. But a lot of it has been fixed. And I don't think that I need to fix a whole lot of rust, but I am going to need to fix some, that's for sure. But as you maybe are able to see, there has been some fixes to the jack points, and also the rear panel right there is changed. And I think it seems to be pretty, I'm not going to say good condition, but surprisingly well kept considering what it is and the age of it. It's from 1977, this car, so it's an old one. The Princess got a vinyl roof, and I think I always like the look of that. That's really cool. It's got a oily stain over there, but I think it can be cleaned up nicely with some kind of conditioners for shoes or something like that, hopefully. And then the Princess logo. I got this logo somewhere in my stash from my childhood because my parents allowed me to take it off when the car was scrapped. In here I can see that a lot of stuff has been repaired, but it seems really solid actually. And also back here. Some of you might notice that it is quite low. This car got the hydro gas suspension, just like the Austin Metro that I got. And just like the Austin Metro, it is collapsed. Unlike the Austin Metro, this system is not connected on the axle. It is connected between the axles on each side. So when this wheel sees a bump, it will push the rear wheel down, making the car sort of hover over bumps and stuff. I can actually feel the sensation from muscle memory from my childhood. So that's fun. The other side is pretty much the same. It's cool with that golden stripe down the side. I like that. Just the same on the wheel. Rear wheel arch. Then back here we have the trunk. The panel and the Princess sign back here is missing. He couldn't find it, but hopefully he will find it one day, and then I can get it. He was the kind of guy who kept stuff and took care of stuff, but he had quite a lot of stuff, so I can understand why it was hard to find. He was a really nice guy, by the way, and knew a lot of stuff about cars, so we could talk for hours. Back here, there is a spare wheel. There is a extra selector, gear selector. And then there's this, the cylinder head. This car has been converted to run on unleaded petrol, and this is the old cylinder head. A new one was bought and fitted. So this one is perfectly fine, but it's not designed to run on unleaded fuel. Then there are different parts and fittings. Oh, there's a Princess sign back there actually. And a wheel arch trim. In here I think are a set of brand new front headlights. That's pretty nice. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Normally I would go to the driver's seat first, but not this time, because when I was a kid, this was where I was located. Oh wow. I'm gonna sit in it. Are we there yet? Oh, I can remember sitting back here. I'm slightly higher than what I remember. But this I remember so vividly. Oh yeah, exactly that. And that motion, I can really remember that motion. And me and my sister really fought over who was allowed to use it and who was not allowed to use it. And then we actually hid candy down there, so you could always find something sweet down there. Not on this one though. It's a funny funny sensation. And look at those front seats. They are so wide. It's unbelievable. Oh, and look at this detail. Of course, there is a cigarette that has been used even on the back seat. And also ashtray. Of course, ashtray on the rear seats. It's fun to be in here. It is slightly moldy. It's not the best air in here, but let's try the driver's seat. Pela. This is anti-corrosion treatment. 2000. That's only 22 years ago. Look at the door cards and all the shades of brown and mold. This car really needs a clean because this could be slightly unhealthy. But look at all this brown. It's looking so. I really like these brown shades from the 70s. It's an acquired taste, I think. And you can see that this is a luxury car from that time because there's all kinds of adjustments possible that you don't normally see. And then this is really a British car design. You even got a fasten your seatbelt sign. I can remember when I was a kid that my father told me that this car could fly, and I really believed him. I can remember he told me about a switch that he needed to switch on if he wanted it to take off, but there were no roads locally big enough for it to take off, so he couldn't show it to me. Yeah. These switches, the guy I bought it from told me that are actually the same switches and as in a Lotus Esprit, which I really like because that's my favorite supercar or sports car. Not that I'm ever going to get one, but now I got the switches. And then the stalk right there is exactly the same as in the Austin Metro. There's a lot of reused parts. Really a lot of reused parts. I'm not really sure what this is. Maybe it's the takeoff switch. I'm not really sure. It's the air flap. All right. And then there's a switch down here that I guess is not original either. Don't know what it does. And then of course the gear selector. A speaker up here. Oh, I can remember that feel. It's fun. And then there are a lot of papers on the car as well. Registration, and the guy also kept a record on when he refueled and what parts he has changed and all that. That's nice. The original manual and a workshop manual for the win. That's nice. It's really like a living room in here. It's cool. It's really cool. Let's take a look at that engine. And of course you have to pull a lever over here because this is a British car. The steering wheel is really supposed to be there, and therefore it's still over there. Oh, there's gas struts. That's nice. You don't even have to hold it. And they work. Nice. And here we have it. My first 6-pot engine. Ta-da! As far as I know, it develops 110 horsepower, which is not really that impressive, but it is an old car. It is coupled together with those two twin SU carburetors, I presume it is. That's pretty cool. I think this engine is going to sound pretty awesome, actually. It looks pretty nice down here, actually. Oh, look how spark leads. Wow. And a servo. How nice. Then we have the gearbox underneath the engine. So the sump down there is actually the gearbox sump. I don't think they share oil though, like the Mini. I don't think it's designed that way, but it is a pretty weird design that makes the engine rather tall actually, combined with the pretty weird position. As you can see, the engine is in front of the wheel. So I don't expect it to be a really nice handling car, but the previous owner actually told me that it drove pretty nice, but we'll see. It looks pretty good, actually, surprisingly good. I was expecting to see more rust down here. Well, the next video I make, at least on this car, will be a attempt, at least, to start this up, because I would really like to get it movable. So, because I also want to get the Trabant finished and other cars as well. I don't know if this is going to be a first in line project or if I'm just gonna make it drivable and then put it away until that I have time for that. I really would like to get the camper going at the moment, actually. So the next video will be a startup, and then I will have to do something about that suspension. I think I can get some wooden blocks and put in to just get it a bit higher than that now, because I really risk hammering that gearbox sump into something when it is this low, even though it looks pretty cool. But I would have to try to do something about that. The guy told me that he tried to pump it up, but the gas was just escaping from somewhere. So I need to figure out what's going on with that. And then I need to get one of those pump system, because now I have two cars using that pump system. So I would really like to get a simple pump setup so I can fill it myself. Anyway, this is yet again another project on the channel. I know I already started, I think, 3 projects this year. So I really have to get going. But this is what the channel is all about. It's not really about driving around that much, at least. It's just about being in the garage, wrenching on interesting stuff. And I think that this car could divide the masses, but for me, it's a very, very interesting car. I have a lot of memories with this car. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that this was interesting to you as well, and is something that you maybe want to follow along. Remember, you can support me on Patreon so I can buy more silly stuff. That would be really nice. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.